from my group of people. So all the classes will be recorded, and we will, for me, I'll post it up on eLeap via YouTube. So there will be a YouTube link on eLeap for that week. So you just click on it like this one, you will see the whole thing all over again. And if there's any part that you really don't understand, you can actually go back and listen to that few minutes, a few hours, you know. And I'm not sure next week whether I want to do a full online or some pre-recorded. But a lot of my master students, they like to have pre-recorded, because they can just listen to 10 minutes, 10 minutes, 10 minutes, 10 minutes, you know, and then tonight they listen to 10 minutes, tomorrow night they listen to 10 minutes, you know, so they're not really stressed out by the, you know, sit here and listen for 3 hours, you know, like, oh, you know, like cannot go in, you know. Yeah, so I will see how we go. I will let you know, but definitely we'll meet up with you for a little while next week, maybe to discuss on the assignment. I'll give you the assignments today. The assignments will be by me, a group project. I'll give you as early as I can, which is today, and then you can break up into your groups, you know, start to look for your case studies and all that, and then get it started. And then next week we will discuss some more on how things are. I mean, like how you are doing it, you know, and then is there any questions or anything like that? We will solve it as we go along. Okay, right. Let me show you the course plan. I mean, this is all standard things today, lah, huh? Shift this thing away. Toolbar. Aha. Okay. It will disappear sometimes by itself. I will off my camera now, so that you know, you can hear me better, and also the voice bit, you know, I mean the smoothness bit on the internet line.
Okay.
So at least you know you've seen me already, so you know my face, you know. Stop. Okay. Right. So basically, this is how the course will be mapped out. Okay, there'll be 4 of us taking this course. Okay, there'll be me, Dr. Lee, and Dr. Shelley, and Puan Rohaida. Okay, and we are basically in these universities. I suppose we are the most qualified people to teach you this thing, lah, huh? I myself is a project management background, so I'm a civil engineer in a project management background. So sometimes I may be very swerving, you know, like I can't help myself but talk about construction. So I will try not to do that, because you all are not, every one of you are from construction industry. Some of you I know is from chemical engineering and all that. So yeah, so I will try not to be too focused into construction. Okay, and so as much as possible, we will do very, very general things. Okay, and I mean, like, talk in a very general way, like in that sense, huh? Okay. These first 2 weeks, basically, I'm just going through with you to build that foundation, to build that background about quality management. Okay, and what is quality? What is concept of quality? The quality management, the involvement of quality management, and why is it so important in engineering? You know, and you know, we talk about quality, quality, quality all the time, and it's something that we in Malaysia are not really achieving it that well. You know, in that sense, yeah. And then on week 3 onwards, Dr. Lee will come in and she will actually give you what I have talked about, like as in what is a quality management system. And then from that system, she'll be focusing, zero in, and talk to you more about QP, QA, QC, you know, and what are the techniques, what are the tools, and all that for QA, QP, QCs, you know, and what does people actually do in QP, QA, QC, quality planning, quality assurance, quality control, you know, and then what is the quality improvement cycle, okay? How do you make the PDSA cycle? How do you do it and all that? And all this will actually be part of your assignment later on as well. You see, once I show you the assignment, you will know that these are the knowledge that you'll be getting, yeah, from the assignment. I mean, from what we're doing for the assignment. So basically, what I can do with you is, because the assignment is set by me, when Dr. Lee have classes like 3, 4, 5, you know, I may just drop by in, you know, LU5 or LU4, you know, and then just to have an hour with you, or just to, or we can even do it over a weeknight, you know, like when you are more free, you know, or something like, or after work, 5 o'clock to 6 o'clock. I mean, these are all extra things, you know, to actually help you with the assignments, you see. And I think that is important, because your assignment is 40%, honestly. You know, I mean, like there'll be 60% of assignments. So you get all this done, you're basically 60 marks. Let's say you get 40 plus, you know. So exam-wise, another 15 marks or so, you know, you will be quite, if you pass exam with 20 marks, you know, you'll probably be okay to get through this with more than a 65, you see. So the important thing is, for all these courses, you have to get more than 65, okay? That is important. I know Dr. Lin will tell you that it's 60, but to get 60, 60, 60 all the way, it is not going to get you to graduate with a CGPA of 3, okay? So you have to do a bit more than 60, okay? 60, maybe 1 or 2 subjects a semester, 1 subject a semester, you do 60s, you know, but then rest, you must be able to do more than 60, okay? Any questions so far?
No.
Okay.
Not so far.
Yeah. So then after that, after she talked to you about all these QA, QC, you know, and how do you actually execute them, you know, this is actually more practical already. It's not so theoretical. It's how you do the execution and all that. And then of course, from 6, 7, 8, 9 onwards, this about, no, 6, 7, 8, 9, more or less around that time, about 5 weeks or so, 4 or 5 weeks or so, 4 weeks actually, sorry. It will be taken by Dr. Shelley. She's more from a manufacturing, mechanical engineering background. So she's very qualified to teach you on these tools, you see. All these tools on how to do a histogram, what is a cause effect diagram, checklist, Pareto graphs, you know, and you know, the sampling, how to do sampling, SPC, process control, statistical process control, and all that. So she's going to do a lot of this calculation kind of thing with you, and she will give you an assignment based on this, you see. So that one, I will leave it to her. So before she starts, I will probably do another session personally with you, either with the LU4, LU3, 4, 5, or we can do it in a separate time. Whenever you are more comfortable, is okay, you know, or maybe Dr. Lee don't use so many hours, so I will drop by and, you know, guide you more on the assignments as well. I mean, it's just to not leave you like totally alone with the assignment, and then when you hand it in to me, you'll be like, oh dear, you know, this is not what I want, you see. So it's good that you do it, and then we have an assignment session, meaning that you actually show me your work, you know, and I share with everybody your work, you know, and then of course, we're not expecting everybody one another to copy one another, because the assignment is going to be very much based on your own project. So if some of you are from chemical industry, some of you are from civil engineering background, then the project that you choose is going to be very different. So there's no such thing as copying one another, honestly speaking, okay? And then come back to 10, 11, 12. 10, 11, 12, it will be more on quality management system. So again, these are some of the classic. Sorry, I have a bit of noise here because somebody is repairing something in my house. So yeah, I'm trying to get them to keep quiet. Just give me a minute. Sorry. Yeah, I find it a bit distracting because of the noise. I don't want you to be distracted with the background noise as well. Yeah. Okay. So then it will be more on covering like, the actual, TQM, QMS, and Six Sigma. And all these are actually very, very relevant to the assignments as well. So this bit here, it'll be taken by Madam Rohaida. And then the last two lecture will be me and Dr. Lee. So we'll wrap it up for you. And then that's it. We finish the 14 LU. Okay. Yes, so that is what we are planning to do here for these 14 weeks. And then I think you are very concerned. This will be the assignments spread out. There will be individual assignments, which may be split into small assignment of 3 or 2, which is about 30%. It will be given by Dr. Shelley. That will be more on the individual one, doing calculation and all that. And then the group assignment is going to be a more management kind of assignment, which is about 30%. And then we will have, like I said, the assignment I'll be guiding you. Will be in touch with one another as we go along. I want you to show me your work. We can discuss on, what I think is missing and what I think can be better and all that. So we can grab you as much of that 30% as possible. So it's 30%, not 40%, sorry, because 40% is for project management. So I'll be seeing you a lot more for project management later in week 4 onwards. Yeah. So this one here, I won't be touching so much, but I'll be in charge of the assignment. And also, some of the background, starting background to kick off everything, and then to wrap it up for you all later on. Okay, and final exams will be 40%. There'll be 4 questions, okay? And I'm sure a lot of you are very curious how we're going to run this final exam. At the moment, I would say that, for project management and quality management, we will be doing take-home exam. Whether it's going to be a 4 or 5 hours or the 6 hours, we haven't decided. We have to see our question first, okay? If the questions are really quite writing based kind of thing, we'll probably give you more time, like up to about 6 hours. How do we do take-home exams? Okay, take-home exam is on the day itself, at certain time, say 9 a.m. You will go online, go on eLeap. The question will be available, like it will be open during that 9 a.m. and then you can download it, and then you can do it over that 5 hours. And within that 5 hours, you must do submission. There's no such thing as, let's say 5 hours. So that will be 10, 11, 12, 1 to 2 p.m. After 2 p.m. or after the submission time that is being given to you, that half an hour, we wouldn't accept any more answer script. Okay, we wouldn't open up any more system for you. So basically, you'll be doing a take home. Take home is like, we are not going to be looking over to you on the camera. We are not going to care about what you actually do at home, whether you go to toilet, whether you eat your lunch while doing your exams, or whether you watch TV while doing your exams, So it's up to you. It's really a little bit like an assignment, like a quick, fast assignment kind of thing. And obviously with that, you would say that, then what standard is that? I can cheat left, right, and center. Of course, you can cheat right, left, right, and center. We expect you to actually read your notes and do it together. But you see, a lot of students actually, because it's a take-home exam, they don't do revision at all. They don't really know the course very well. You see, so what happened is when they do take-home exam over the 4 or 5 hours, they don't even know where to look for the answer. You see, so they last minute they go and read the notes, like flick, and then they will call me up and say, oh my God, I don't have enough time, and then you'll be surprised at how many people actually leave blank for take-home exams because they just couldn't know where to find the answer, because they don't do revision. They take it too easy in that sense, you see. And the question will always be mapped out in the way that it will be more of application. So it wouldn't be something that you can just like copy the theory, and then chuck it into the exam. So there'll be more of an application kind of feel to the exam paper. You know, so like for example, Dr. Shelley will probably come up with one question and then she'll probably do some calculation questions. So how on earth are you going to plan? I mean, like you can go and read your books, you know. The good thing is you don't have to memorize formula, you don't have to memorize anything because everything is there, but you must know where everything is, you know. If you don't know where everything is, last minute you want to go and search and go online and search and all that kind of rubbish, I can tell you honestly, you'll be crying, okay? So take-home exam, there is this kind of danger. You take it too easy. So I really would actually advise people to actually read through your notes and then put in stickers, you know, and put in marks at what certain things are and where certain things are and all that. And then if there's any examples on calculations and all that, make sure that you are very fluent with it. Yeah. And you know, you can actually do it right then and there and not be blur about it. But of course, like I say, you don't have to memorize anything because things are there in front of you in the book and all that. So some lecturers will actually, over this course, they will do what we call online face-to-face. And online face-to-face will usually be 3 hours. So that one, we do expect you to buy a camera. So you all must own a laptop camera or some camera. If you don't have it now, you must go out and buy one at the end of the semester, because if there is an online face-to-face exam, you are expected to on your camera and there will be somebody there to look at you doing exams. But obviously your hand there doing other things, your eyes look at other things, nobody can control. Yeah? That is a good thing. Yeah. So I think this online thing is helping a lot of these master students to graduate with good grades. So I do recommend everybody to actually follow through with the current systems and finish up your masters in this 1 year. I mean, I personally, because I'm the Masters of Civil Engineering Coordinator, I do, you know, sort of like force my students to actually follow the course as it is, because I do think that, you know, this is a good opportunity. Later on, after this 1 year, we cannot guarantee, you know, that we will actually, if the government actually force everybody to come back to the universities, people whom we take, you know, this year online should be finished online, you know. But then if you drag to 4th semester, 5th semester, 6 semesters, you know, it's difficult to justify why everybody is back in the uni and you yourself have to be doing online, you see. So it can be difficult. And then even that, so even the lecturer can help you with having the courses, they're on the camera while they do a physical class with the rest of the class. Then exam, definitely you have to be here to do the exam. There's no way we can get past of you doing an online exam while any other people out there are doing a physical exam. So just do it now. I mean, this is a good opportunities. Okay. That is my advice. And like I say, this online exam and online take-home exams is going to help with a lot of people. Okay, especially when it comes to revision workload and all that. Okay. Any questions on exams and any questions on the course so far? Yeah.
Miss, so meaning to say that in semester 2 and 3 also it will be the same, is it? You don't have to come over for the exam.
We are, because no one is going to know what's going to happen in February and June, okay? But it is in the discussion at the moment that we will, it's actually quite a kind of like a known thing among us, but it's not on paper yet, that we will likely be finishing people who registered online, like you guys, because you come in here registered being online. In this 1 year, we will finish you off online.
Okay.
Or in 1 year, because I think not all of us is from Kuching.
Yes, I'm from Selangor.
Nevia is from.
Yeah, because I remember we are in the mix of talking to Dean and to our, you know, top management and all that. We'll be preparing some paperwork just to make sure. I mean, we want to finish you guys who is actually being taken online to finish online kind of thing. Yeah. So most likely, but like I say, because this course is actually designed for 1 year, you see. So some people, they themselves want to drag. You see, they themselves want to do they don't want to take so many courses. They want to do 4th semester, 5th semester, 6th semester. But the 4th, 5th, 6th semester, we cannot guarantee, you see.
How about the assignments? Will it be like easy for us to cope up, because we are scared that
Yeah,
so many
I think
assignments coming in.
Madam Ting, I think I was thinking like attending the classes is okay, but the assignments uh coming in where or especially us working full time, we might worry that we're not able to cope with it. What the research methodology itself already 5 tasks to do. So the rest coming in, we're still personally for myself, I'm still thinking whether to drag on or not.
It's a risk that you have to take, yeah. I mean, the assignment, what is there to be worried about? Most of them will be group work. There will be one portion that will be individual assignments. Individual assignments usually will be shorter, a lot shorter. It's just a task. Group assignments are the one that is usually on case studies, which like in this case, I'll be doing a group of 3, like I mean, there's 9 of you, I'll probably match you up in 3, see? So you only handling one report, And then for those of you who are working, it's even better that you discuss this assignment online. You just set up a group meeting online among yourself. You don't even have to come to UniMass, you see? So isn't that better in that way?
Yeah, it's better, but for the individual assignments, like, are we allowed to give you prior to just check on, and then so that it doesn't affect our marks, so we don't have to worry so much?
Sorry, you say the individual assignment is what?
Like, are we allowed to give 1 week earlier for checking? Like,
I mean, like, definitely this course is not going to be so unhuman in the way that you can't talk to the lecturers, you see. So I mean, like, for me, the assignments, I do give you like some milestones and all that, and then so you all can email me, and I can explain to you like, okay, I don't like this bit, can you change this, and all that. And remember, I did say that in week 4 or 5, I'll be very happy if we have another group meeting. Let's say I can set up another time. It can be after 5 to 6 o'clock, or even lunchtime if you want. I don't mind, as long as you are happy, we can sit down and then you can show me your assignment online, like you share screen, and I can go through it and comment on it and all that. I mean, that's how I would do it lah. Yeah. So it's not going to be like I show you the assignment and see you again, at the end of the semester, and I hand it in.
Okay.
Madam Ting, also how about group assignment? Are you going to pair us up or
You choose your own friends.
okay.
You choose your own friends, please. I mean, even if you say that I don't like anybody here and I don't have any friends,
No.
obviously probably you don't, because they are all from you all are from different people, I mean different that one background, But try to find yourself a pair work and all that. But if somebody who really don't want to pair up with anybody, for my course I will be happy to set up. Okay, I can speak for project management and quality management. Okay, because project management assignment will be by me as well. So it will be we will be working on the same system. So likely is when I give you the project management assignment, when we do a discussion, when I open a specific time again to do a discussion with you on assignment, I can do for both, both assignments, to discuss both assignments, same students, same lecturers, why not, you see? Then what if you really don't want to have group work, you can do your own individual one if you want to, you see, if you can manage. Yeah, I'm okay with that. So for project management, for individual assignment from Dr. Lee for project management, I think she will probably just give you something to do with critical path method and also to do a schedule or something like with Microsoft project. So yeah, I mean, it's a very task-based kind of thing for assignments, but for group project, it's more on, case studies, you need to collect data from your workplace and all that. Like, it's a bit more on that kind of level, application kind of level. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Sheila, I mean, yeah, I mean, like, don't get too, how do I say, there is assignments deadline, no doubt, okay. But a lot of things are actually, we're talking about human here, you know, management is about human here. If you guys do have problems with deadline, okay, like I would say my assignment for quality management, I will let you hand it in to me before Christmas. So 23rd of Christmas, you hand it in, then you have a good Christmas Eve, okay? But if you really cannot manage, you know, you say you want to give it to me for on the 1st of January, I will be fine, you know. I wouldn't go and penalize you and cut marks. You know, this is not undergraduate studies, okay?
Okay.
We are talking about people here who are working, who are professionals, you know, who are, you know, your own professional people in your own workplace, you know, and all that, you know. And of course, some of you are from the fresh graduate, then you punya semangat is very different, you know. You all are very good with assignment, you all are very good with deadlines and all that, you see. So if you do have group members like that, please be a bit more tolerant towards them, huh? Yeah. But people who are actually working, don't keep on using your working as an excuse also, because it is your responsibilities. You come in here to take up this course, there must be a level of commitment as well, and you have accountability to your group member to give them things that, you know, you have been assigned to as well, you see. So it is a management thing. We all talk about teamwork here, huh? So don't overplay on other people's sympathy, but don't also be, you know, harsh on people. We try to find a balance, huh? Yeah. Okay. Right. So that is assignments, and like I say, there's no issue with you all just rest assured we'll try our best to get you guys to finish everything online, okay, by the end of the semester in June. Then you will go for your graduation in October, and that will be nice, you know, get it over and done with, you know. So if you drag on like 1 or 2 subjects you want to drop, I think it's not an issue, you know, but just remember the dropping time will be around next week, end of next week, or they haven't gave us any new timing now, but without any penalty should be end of next week. But with penalty, it may be another week or so, okay? So you just watch out for the deadlines. And like I said, I don't recommend dropping, you know, I don't recommend dropping, actually. I don't recommend doing, you get what I mean? It's like this, when you are doing it together with the same group of people working towards the same goals, it's fine just to drag 1 semester or 2 semesters maximum. But if you drag on and on, like, I mean, you can't actually, because we have the maximum of 6 semesters here for those people who are enrolled, you know. And I know there's one of you who are actually part-timer, you know. Dr. Lee discussed with me. I actually did not recommend that, because the longer you drag this, you will lose interest. And when you lose interest, it's very easy for you just to quit, okay? And when you quit, it is going to be like, pick it up, it's going to be difficult. A lot of students, they like to drag and then they end up quitting. They just say that I can't manage, because it's not that they can't manage, actually they lost interest, you know, because they haven't picked up a book for a long time after 1 sem, and then they say, I want to do it again, they get lazy, they drag again, they drag again, they drag again, and they end up, you know, bye-bye, you see. So we try to adjust ourselves. For me as a part-timer, not as a part-timer, this is actually considered as part-time because you only do it Saturday, Sunday. Weekdays, try to find your own self time, you know, especially you're working. It's only 1 year, honestly, and that 1 year is only about 14 weeks per each semester that you are actually kind of suffering. Then after that you have a break, and then 14 weeks plus another 14 weeks, because 12 plus 30 weeks plus exam week is about 14 weeks, okay? So 14 weeks times 3, you are looking at about 54, is it 54 weeks? No. 14 times 3 is 42, is it? Or something like that. Yeah, 42. So about 42 weeks in the year that you'll be a bit more stressed out than normal, you see. So try to get yourself into that mode, give yourself that 14 weeks per semester, give yourself some me time, meaning that, you know, after work or before you finish work, you know, stay in your office, continue to do your work, you know, do your assignments and all that. You know, you go home at 8 p.m., for example. If you don't like that, you're a morning person, then I would suggest that you get up early, you know, after you send your kids to school and all that, you know, just go in the office early and then shut your door and tell people that, you know, I don't want to talk to anybody. I have to do something here. Before 10 o'clock, I wouldn't want to deal with anything, you know. That can be one way of handling this, you see. Then you focus that from 7:30 to 8:30 to 9:30 to 10:30, I mean to 10 o'clock, you have about 3.5 hours. And if you can make that 3.5 hours your daily routine, most likely is you should be okay. Okay. So weekend is basically just dedicated to classes, and classes, you see, so you don't have much time. Yeah. I mean, that is a suggestion for myself, you know. I mean, I make that suggestion to a lot of people, you know, especially some of my colleagues who are doing PhD, you know, and then they finish later. I mean, they came back, they haven't get the PhD yet, and then they have to do it over the semester. I mean, over 2 years, 1 year again in uni, and they are working, they have family, you know, they have to do their PhD. And I just tell them there's no choice. You know, you really, if you want this degree bad enough, you just have to give yourself some time every day. Tell your family member it's only 42 weeks in this year, in this 1 year, 2021 to 2022, that, you know, you can't cook dinner, you know, or you don't make breakfast, or please get your husband to send your kids to school, you know, and leave me alone for a while, you know, this 14 weeks per sem, you know, and let me finish this, you see. So the support from a family is very important as well. Yeah. Okay, so that's my thoughts. I mean, like, to ease your worry a little bit. Try to follow through as much as we can. Okay, and talk to the lecturers if you do need a bit of more time. But because we are constrained by submission of marks to the universities, and they have to go for meetings, a net meeting and all that, we maybe cannot drag like until like endless like that, you know. So let's say if your assignment drag for 1 week before the end, anything before the end of the semester, before your exam, is always negotiable. Once the exam is conducted already, it's a bit difficult to negotiate, because we need to quickly hand in your marks for the university to what we call Jana 8. Jana 8 means that to generate the marks for your semester. So that one is not governed by the faculty. We have to be led by the deadline that is given by the universities. So anything within these 14 weeks, like 12 plus this study week and exam week, as long as you don't go past the exam week, I think it's always negotiable. Okay, always negotiable. Remember that. Okay, so thank you. I hope I'm not dragging your time too long on this. Okay, I mean, I just want to make you comfortable on this, and I take you for two of these subjects, so half of this is gone, or half of my thing is gone already, so you know what to expect from us. Okay, Prof. Andrew, I'm sure if you talk to him nicely, he's more than happy to help out you as well. And the other subject is the economics one. That one I don't know, because that one I don't know them very well. So you just have to talk to them. But I think Madam Noazia is a nice, gentle person as well. I'm pretty sure she's quite a reasonable and negotiable kind of person as well. Okay. Right. So let's move on to our part 1 today. Okay. Is it?
Madam,
Yes.
we don't have the attendance.
Oh yeah. Never mind. We do it at the end. Okay. We do it at the end. So, oh yeah, I think I better give you my contact as well. Let me see. Chat box. Where's my chat box? Okay, forgot about that. Okay, so I am actually your coordinator for this particular course. Okay, and you already have my handphone number on the WhatsApp. So that one I don't think need to give you. And I'm not in the office now because we're still kind of working from home. But I think okay, I'll give you WhatsApp in case you don't know which one is me on WhatsApp. Okay, 3. I know some of you here actually. Some of you are my good friends from other universities or from my past and all that, students and all that. Okay, so yes, this one, yep. So my contact are on the chat box already lah. You can just take it down and we're in communication. And for project management, Dr. Lee will be coordinating. You can look for her. She's a very nice lady. In fact, honestly, everybody says she's much nicer than me. So all my students like to look for her and not me, you know, so they would like to talk to her and then ask her to come and talk to me, you know. So, but yeah, you can talk to her. And then we are always in discussion with one another. I speak to her daily over WhatsApp. If you have any issues, she will also discuss with me on project management as well, okay? But anything with these 2 subjects on the group assignment, yes, please look for me. I am very happy to help you, okay? All right, so today's class, we are going to be just going for the lazy, easy thing lah, huh? This is talking about quality context, quality management. These notes will be available on eLib after class. This recording will be on eLib after class. So let's say if some of you are actually, the good thing now, you see, the wonderful thing about this thing now is if now you go and sneak away and, you know, go and take a nap or something, I wouldn't know unless I start to call your name and you couldn't answer anything, you see. And or you know, you go and attend to your children for a little bit, you know, and then you miss out on about 10 minutes of the class or half an hour of the class. I wouldn't know either, you see. So I'm always the one talking, you know, and then you all keep quiet. But you all are very responsive, like I can tell. It's nice to, you know, have a bit of response, yeah. So what happened is, you know, even if you do have a bit of problem attending classes fully, my recording will be on YouTube later on. So you just go back, you know, over the weeknights or something, or tonight, you know, you just turn on to the time that you miss and listen again, you know, or even in the morning, go to toilet, you know, you got nothing to do. Instead of watching drama, you can watch this, you know, and listen again and see if you miss out on anything. So pre-recorded is the same. My pre-recorded will always be in a 10-minute segment, 10 minutes for one segment, 10 minutes for one segment. So if you're tired of listening to everything, you just listen to 10 minutes first, and then after that you listen to another 10 minutes and listen to another 10 minutes as you go along at your own time, okay? But no matter what, don't drag until the next class, because if you drag too long, you are losing a lot of the recording, you see? I'm not suggesting you to just depend on recording and listen to recording at the end of the semester, and then you disappear for the whole semester. Not like that, because take-home exam, it's too late when you want to listen to recording during take-home exams, okay? Or listen to recording during study week. That would be a disaster, I tell you. Okay. First time we have take-home exam in my engineering ethics class, I have got like 60% people failing, you know, take-home exam. It's amazing, you know, it's totally amazing. I don't know how they do it. So after our analysis, is probably they think that take-home exam, everything is open book, so life is easy, so they don't have to do any zero revision. So when they do zero revision, you imagine when they see the question, they go like, mana ni ho, where is this thing? I have never heard of it before. So how to answer? Okay, so attending classes, doing the general things, doing the assignments, doing the listening to the recordings early as possible, doing revision during study week. These are all general things that you have to follow through. That will help, okay? Right. So why is quality important? You know, like if you're from engineering, this triangle, tell me anybody who hasn't ever seen it before. So it's time, cost, quality. This is a balance between for any manager, okay, or project manager, we say, you will be concerning, I'm sure most of your background here is actually engineering, okay? So most of you are dealing with projects, okay? And whether you like it or not, this is the objective of the manager. You want to finish your task on time. You want to finish it within the cost that is being budgeted. And then you want to have certain level of quality that is being, you want to achieve that quality that has been indicated by the client. Okay, and it is actually applicable for everything in our life as well. So in fact, time cost quality is a trade-off, is a balance, it's something that you actually have to fulfill as an engineer for all your project. So you can see that, this is something that is quite common, and this triangle will actually state the objective of what your goal is for your work, for your project, for your task, or for your problems, for the problem solving that you do in your management work. So you want to solve it as quickly as possible. You want to, if there's a budget involved, you don't want to go over the budget. And if there's certain things that is expected to be produced from it, the product that is produced from it, if you're from manufacturing, you want your product to be usable and not cause any casualty or any harm or anything to the people and user using it. So same goes with civil engineers. You want to build something that is good, good as in, I will explain. There is something like, there's difference between high quality and good quality. Good quality is fulfillment of the specification, is a fulfillment of what the product is supposed to be. High quality is actually when going over it, you see. So if we don't specify our quality, we cannot force people to do high quality, If it fulfills the quality that you start off with, that you actually that you actually specify and that you actually wanted, that you actually put it down on papers, those are good quality. We're talking about good quality there, you see. So basically, quality, like time and cost, is very easy to say that we want to manage time and cost, because time and cost is actually very physical. It's actually very quantitative. When we talk about 11 o'clock, we know what is 11 o'clock. When we talk about 14 weeks, we know what 14 weeks is all about, you see. And when we talk about money, who doesn't know, like when we talk about 10K, when we talk about 5K, when we talk about 1 million, when we talk about 500,000, 1 billion, the numbers is so obvious, If we talk about 1 million and your project end up to be 1.1 million, that is over budget. Even $1 is an over budget, okay? Over the budget, cost overrun. So with quality, it is the hardest, honestly. That's why you see in engineering management courses, we actually have a project management course, and then we have a quality management course. Why don't we have a time management course, a cost management course, you see? Because those are very obvious, you see. So this one is the part that we do have a lot of arguments, a lot of different opinions, and a lot of subjectivity, and also a lot of conflicts when it comes to quality management. So that's why it is actually good to have a topic on its own, okay, quality management. Okay, so in construction, we always talk about this all the time. So what exactly is quality? Okay, so it's about the features. For engineering, for us, it's the features of the product, the characteristic of the product or the service that is able to satisfy whatever that you state in the beginning, or the needs that has been stated. Like if you want to build a house, that means it has to have the integrity of, properly housing people inside there. That is the implied needs, Sometimes stated needs and implied needs are different. Stated needs is like, it's like A, like this, B, like this, C, like this. Implied needs is like, okay, let me give you an example. The house must have windows, that is lockable, okay? That is a stated need, okay? Because the house must have window for ventilation, for safety, for whatever purpose, for escape purpose, all that is stated, you see. But the implied need is you need to have a window that can close and lock, you see. So you don't want to have a window that is a hole there. A hole is a window, but does not mean that, the implied needs will be, it must be in a condition that is workable, because you cannot have a window that cannot lock or cannot close, you see, or a slanted window that can never be closed, you see. So closing the window properly is actually an implied need, not a stated need, you see. So when I go for a quality checking, when I look at the window, oh yeah, the window is there. That is a stated needs, but it must close properly would be the implied needs. Okay, so these are things that we will actually have to be very careful with when it comes to quality management. So when we talk about quality management, it's about features, it's about characteristic. You always want to know the definition of quality first, honestly. I mean, as a quality management system, if we don't have a good definition of what is quality in your book or in your specifications, you will generally be very having a hard time, because you'll be working in engineering. We are working with suppliers, we're working with subcontractors, we're working with contractors. Okay, we're working with factory workers, we're working with site people. You know, there's so many that is involving a lot of people. So when none of us are meeting the mind of one another when it comes to quality, can you imagine that how disastrous that can be? One person is thinking like that. They are thinking A, B, C. You are thinking FY, FYZ, So then it doesn't merge, So when you come together and you go and check, or you go and approve of the work, if somebody is thinking not on the same path as you, the expectation is very different, you see. So obviously we're going to get a lot of problems with disapproval, with reworking, with hacking off, with redoing, with rejecting, with throwing things out of the window, And then if you're in manufacturing, if you reject, it's up to 10, 20%, I think your boss is going to come screaming at you, what's going on, And then all your client actually look at the things that is being produced, the clothes that you produce, or the baju that you made, or the shoes that you made, and they reject like 50% of it. Then how? There's losses, there's a huge amount of losses that you're looking at, you see. So we really need to be on the same mind. So we talk about quality definition very clearly, okay? And like some authors will say that, quality is actually a relative thing, you see. But in that relativity, it is absolute. When that relativity is being conveyed, from my perspective, I want my quality to be like this. So from your perspective, you come to me and tell me what you want. So we must meet the mind of one another. And after that, it becomes absolute. We both must follow. It cannot be, oh, I do my own thing, you do your own thing, then later we settle. Cannot do that, okay? So you cannot finish a project and then decided that, oh, you mean you don't know? Or you mean your quality is like this? No, we cannot do that, okay? So it is absolute. You have to make it absolute, okay? No matter how qualitative it can be, we as engineers, we must make our relativity into absolution, or we must make our quality from qualitative back to quantitative. That is our job. Okay, that is our job. We want numbers. We do not want to have people guessing. We do not want subjectivity. We do not want with relativity. Okay, but you have to realize that quality is a relative thing. It is a relative. It's coming from different perspective. I give this example all the time. Okay, when some of you are married, some of you are actually having, partners and all that. When you see your partner, like not everybody will think that he or she is handsome or beautiful, but why you like him or her? That is relativity, okay? From your perspective, you think that he looks good or she looks good, you see. But if you ask another person, like you pull 10 person down the street and then you ask them, do you think that my husband is good looking? Some of them will probably go like, not too bad, and some of them will be like, huh, you kidding me, So again, what is good quality to you may not be good quality to the other person next to you. And that would be disastrous if you're in the same project, if you're working on the same thing. So we need to make it a totality. We need to make it a complete absoluteness to it, okay? So, of course, we like product-based. I love product-based, Tell me, the height, the length, the width, and tell me what is it going to be used that is user based, you see. So for engineers like us, product-based, user-based is good, okay? I mean, it's really good. So we go for that. And normally manufacturing, any one of you from manufacturing here, like mechanical manufacturing people? And any one of you want to like
I'm from manufacturing.
manufacturing
I'm working in the manufacturing.
in whereabouts?
Samajaya Western Digital.
Okay. So yours is probably a manufacturing, so you do a lot of conformance-based engineering, correct now?
Just on the, yeah.
So it's like, you know, what comes out, you know, it must be according to certain specification. And
The
if not,
yield, the yield, the defect, the quality specification.
yes. So this is a very manufacturing based. Value based, of course, is normally it's talking about service kind of environment, like performance and service and all that, you know. A car, you know, yeah, if it's the same price, you have a better value. If it's a better performance, you know. So those are quality or part of quality definition as well. So then from there, we can see that, you know, I don't want to go to this first. Let me go to the other definition first, you see. So, you know, again, somebody, this piece deck, you know, he actually says that, you know, it's user-based, manufacturing-based, also saying value-based, you see. So, so many people actually talk about these things, and you can see that, you know, the definition of quality is basically around this sort of region, okay? And then now, as we move along into the, you know, how many centuries, you know, like 2021, you know, even since about 2000 onwards, we're talking about a lot of things on customer satisfaction, okay? So these are quality has becoming shifting the focus from conformance, from data, from analysis, from features and all that to customer orientation. So to customers' requirement to fulfilling customer satisfaction. You know, like us in education, I mean, we also talk about customer satisfaction. In a way, you guys are our customer in that sense, you know. In assignment, we are your customer, you see. So we want to be able to have that understanding of our customer. And then it's really quite true that if they are happy, it may not be 100% in everybody's eyes, but if your customers are happy with your work, you have actually basically fulfilled the requirement of quality, okay? That has been set up in the first place, yeah? Okay. So this is something that I've given to all my undergraduate students. That is kind of like me, how I define quality. I like to have numbers, you see. So in a way, I prefer my quality to be having this sort of level, you know. If we talk about here, when they talk about transcendent value, that means you just know what it is, kind of thing. Then we are talking about perceived quality or aesthetic, okay? So in engineering, we don't go for this aesthetic or perceived qualities unless that is being specifically specified by the customers. If you have an architect who actually talk about aesthetic and you're working with that architect, and whatever his design is, he wants you to be able to do the structure to be able to be pleasing on the eyes. That is aesthetic, you see. So then if you have that, then it is considered as a success, you know, if you actually specify that. Because for us project manager, we don't really want to go for these sort of things, you see. For me, also, I don't like it. You know, I mean, for me, it's just that time, cost, quality, I fulfill up to certain level. It doesn't matter if you think that the work is a pile of rubbish, you know. If the audience think that, you know, I'm not doing artwork here, you know, so even a piece of artwork, there will be people who think that, you know, abstract art people will think that, golly, you know, this is what on earth is this guy is just swinging his paint, you know, like why is it costing like millions, you know? So we don't know, you see, is that high quality or good quality? For me, as long as my painting, I can hang it at home, you know, it is long and durable, I can hang it at home, and it's not too bad, you know, it fits my home environment, that I fulfill my quality. You see, so if I build something, if any one of you are architects, then you will know that, if you build, you cannot fulfill everybody's love, for that particular piece of work that you do. But luckily we as engineer, we don't really need to go to that kind of level. We hardly do any artsy fartsy thing. We basically just have to do whatever the requirement is, usually talking about conformance to standards, and these things are long durable. It's designed for good performance, especially if you are like in car, in mechanical, then you're talking about car, and electrical, you're talking about transformer performance, and all that. Performance and high reliability. If you can reach high reliability, you're actually doing quite well already in that sense, you see. So it is quality is actually from an interested viewpoint. It's like from a different party, whoever is looking at talking about quality, when we come back as a team to talk about quality, we do want to know everybody's viewpoint. Because really quality must come from a viewpoint of an interested party. If you have no interest or no interest as in, I'm not talking about interest as in interest like as in a hobby kind of interest. I'm talking about interest as in you have some sort of monetary or some form of commitment in the project. Then those interests, you have that interest in the project because it affects your profit margin, it affects your company's reputation, it affects your work, it affects you as a professional. Then the interested party, you have to know their opinion. So again, it is a relative thing. We don't measure it. I mean, it is a relative effort. It's not absolute. Okay, we have to know. It is a relative thing, okay, relative to somebody, okay? So you cannot sit here and say that quality for my project is this, and then you shut your mind and then you move on, you never communicate it with anybody. So whether that specification of quality is a high quality or a good quality, we do not want to make it into an argument at the end of the day, okay? So what do we come, as we come down to this, okay? What do you get? I get that in quality management, the definition of your quality is so important, okay? And that meeting of minds and that communication between the different parties is the first step in quality. If you are building a project, a house, and then you specify it as fit for its intended purpose, okay, then that's it. If the project fulfills that fit for its intended purpose, fulfilling the government authority requirement for getting an OP, then that's it. In a factory like an ADRIA environment, you'll be looking at if the length, the width, the numbers of diodes or whatever is there, it is functioning, then that's it. If you specify that as that's it, finished. Okay. If not, then you really need to sit down. If your client actually have a specific requirement, if they ask you to build something, they ask you to construct, a waffle that is according to their sizes and their requirement to do whatever function they need it to be done for their product, you really need to sit down and work out a proper document on quality, the specifications, the requirement, and the QC bit of things, how you're going to do it, and all that. It is, the definition is the beginning. Later on, you even need to define control. What is the upper limit? What is the lower limit? What is acceptable? If I want to pour concrete on site, my slum test, if I say that it must be 170, okay, or 165 plus or minus, or 180 plus or minus 25. So that is my upper and lower limit. I have to state it. So when this concrete go to site, my staff knows that, when the slum test come down, they measure it. If it's below that or within that region, they accept or not accept. Okay, so it has to be communicated. Even the checking has to be communicated, because the checking is quality assurance that are going to be related to your definition. Okay, am I going too abstract for all of you? I'm trying to make it as subjective, as understandable as possible, because like I said, quality is really quite it's like an abstract painting in that sense, So from the engineering perspective, we want to specify whether you want it to be a product based or whether you want it to be a value based, whether you want it to be, which level, we've given you like 3 pages of examples of how you can define your quality, you see. So with this, make sure that at the end of it, we're talking about customer satisfaction. This is the new age thinking, you remember, I mean, we always hear this, nowadays in today's world, customers is your God, you have to fulfill them. When they say yes, you don't say no. When they say sit, you don't say stand, but not true, as engineers, honestly, yes, customers is our God. Even if you're in the service industry, if the customer said they don't like it, you change it for them. That is good service, so quality has become a point that if you think that your customers is God, completely God-like, then you will have a problem as a professional. Okay, as a professional person, I see it as, yes, your customer is important because your work depends on the customers that you have. You want to satisfy customer, you want to have a good reputation, because nowadays, something wrong, people put on Facebook, before you know it, your reputation is tarnished, or they put on Instagram, or they put on whatever blog or whatever, then you're gone, so we don't want that. So there's a lot of pressure in terms of social media and all that. And then when it comes to our work, we have to be able, as a professional person, yes, know that our customers is important, but know that another 50% is our professionalism, meaning that we must also help the customers to realize what is good. Okay, we must also pull the customer's expectation to a point that is reasonable, that is going according to the budget and the time that he has given. Okay, it has to be a reasonable thing. You don't go and commit into something that is unreasonable. At the end of the day, you cannot fulfill it at all. Yeah, you understand now, ladies and gentlemen? Yeah, so a lot of engineers, I like to see whether in any environment, they are so customer based that they forgot that, if your customers tell you that to shrink the beam down to whatever size that is unreasonable, do you want to do that? You can't, and if there's something that technically cannot be done, you cannot commit. You have to make them realize. So this definition of quality brings in your professionalism, brings in the customer satisfaction, and you have to meet some way, and that meeting point is agreed upon by everybody, and that is how you can start your quality management on a good ground foot. Okay, on a good foot ground. Okay, foot ground. Yeah, so it has to be a part that is a meeting of mind. It's just like a contract. We come in a contract knowing your responsibilities, knowing your rights, and same goes with the people who are entering into the contract with you. So going into a project in terms of quality requirement, it has to be meeting of mind. Spend time with your customer. Don't just think about sealing deals so much that you don't spend time with your customer. You treat them with respect, you listen to whatever they have to say, but you have to also make sure that they respect you for being trained as an engineer, who are professional enough to give them the advice that they need, so that the product, their expectations are not over the sky limit, and they start to go into the atmosphere, you can't pull them back, So you have to be able to set the right tone. So this definition of quality, really, for me, as many years in the industry, I see that as a requirement. I see that as a very important point, And same goes like if I'm also in education. I like to tell my students the basic things that I expect from them. I like to tell them that, you may face this problem, and then if you take it on, then it means that you have to work hard to overcome that as well. Because I have to tell you that you may have this problem, but I also tell you that we will work together with you. But you must also make the effort, and you put down your own determination and effort. Then we will solve problem as we go along. We cannot just keep on staying at the stage of thinking, and expect, and you don't voice out that expectation. Okay, so we must meet some way, and it is a team effort. Okay, so this bit here, the following bit is just a concept of quality. I will just move through with you very quickly, because it's really something that you probably can read from books and online and all that. And I am not going to get you to write a history on quality and memorize that for exams, So it's just for your knowledge, So basically, the concept of quality actually comes during World War I. Actually, before World War I, the Industrial Revolution, starting from the Western European, I actually started all this, we have a lot of manufacturing, the steam engines, and different parts, different components that comes together. So, and then at that time, because there's a lot of, after Industrial Revolution, there's a lot of workers, workers becoming they started to go to the city and work in the factories. So they become a group of supervised group of workers. And then you realize that, things that is being produced from these factories are not exactly high quality. There may be poor workmanship associated with it because of the assembly line. And that is where the concept of quality starts to set in. When you make a piece of screw, for this particular machine. So this assembly line make this screw. So when they do it, and because of the workmanship, because of the environment at the time, maybe the screw that is produced that doesn't fit into that particular roda or that particular wheel or machines or whatever, that component. So there's many rejects and all that. And that final product could not come into place, in a good way, So then there's starting to be thoughts on, we must identify where are the problems product, where are the problems area, and try to improve that and reverse the product that came out from that assembly line, So that is around 1920s, 30s, and all that, Then after that, big things comes after World War I and World War II, and then the US actually start to get into the concept of manufacturing, and then they started to feel like there is more to things, and then actually quality management, the father of all quality management, is probably from manufacturing industries, not from construction. Definitely, it's definitely from manufacturing, industrial manufacturing. So after World War II, there is a lot of product, a lot of things that needs to be rebuilt, a lot of things that needs to have mass production. You see, the mass production is reaching a peak that people cannot sustain, and the things that comes out are really a mess. So the concept of statistical quality control, has come into picture at that time. So at that time, it's really inspection, sampling, control chart, inspection, sampling, control chart, and then you want to see how many percentage of product that comes out from this assembly line is not usable or not doable or not fulfilling the quality that is required. So it's all around statistics, a lot of statistics. So again, even today, as engineers, we like statistics. So we are still keeping this, in our work, statistics. Okay. So after the war, when Japanese especially has a big part in World War II besides the Germans, you see. So you can see that when it comes to after World War II, Japanese and the Germans, even in today's world, when we talk about Japanese and Germans, they are the two most what we call strict people when it comes to quality. So it all starts from World War II. They are the main culprit, so they have to do a lot of rebuilding after that, So there was a lot of disasters. And that time, US also had to do a lot of manufacturing for rebuilding purpose. So this Joseph Duran and also Deming, I think these are two names that you hear all the time. So I'm not going to talk about them so much. They are really the father or the grandpa or the great-grandpa of quality management. Okay, and so they actually collaborate. Japanese was most concerned. Japanese was really concerned because they need to redevelop the economy, and if manufacturing is the first way to out, it's the way out for them at that time. So these two person actually was part of that group to actually educate the Japanese after World War II in order to rebuild their manufacturing systems and bringing in product that is actually good for the people. Okay, and then in the beginning, Japanese actually, their money, their product after World War II are actually just piles of rubbish that people don't want. Yeah, and it was totally shunned by international markets. So Japanese actually was a very group of people who are very, very disciplined. Actually, I think for Edra, you probably know because you work for the waffle, Korean Japanese, but Japanese is really the very strict, people that their mentality is very different. When they say 8 o'clock, it's 8 o'clock. When they say 8 o'clock, it's not 8:01. So when they say 5 o'clock, there's no 5:01 kind of thing. So their train are running super on time. All the public transport are running super on time. Their product are considered as one of the most strictest ever. Quality control, and it all comes from them. You see, so they explore a lot of this new way of thinking. When the Japanese put their mind into something, they really go for it. They really squeeze down, and go for every nitty-gritty detail to make it work. You see, so when manufacturing, when the product are being shunned internationally and being considered as not so good as an export to, especially US, nobody would want Japanese products. So they had to find, like Toyota, took so many years to get into the Japanese market. So these Japanese people are also quite a quality of them. I mean, quite a style of their own. They can't go in, they come out, they redo it, and then they go in and out, and they never give up one, which is something that is really interesting. So this Deming, Duran, Japan, these three things come together is whereby what quality is like for manufacturing. And Deming here has the 14 Deming steps, So I think most of you do know this, So I mean, you can read it on your own. I don't really have to spell it out word by word for you. So yeah, it's talk about management. It's talk about driving out fears. It talk about leadership. It talks about don't just talk about slogans, just go and do, remove barriers, get everybody in the company to transform together. So his Deming 14 points is talking about a change in mind, a change in attitude, and achieving of product is not about numbers anymore. It's something else. It's about people. It's about managing people and all that. Okay, it's about training and that. So then we talk about Duran. Duran has the most famous trilogy, So Duran trilogy is not a Star Wars trilogy. Yeah, this is a Duran trilogy. So Duran trilogy, that is whereby you can see where everything comes together. QP, QC, QP, QC, QI. Quality improvement, quality control, quality planning, and that basically makes quality assurance, you see. So why is there what we call quality assurance? Actually, it's just like, why you buy Adidas, why you buy Nike? Because the brand give you assurance. You assume that, when you see that brand, that is the right thing, that is the quality thing. So if your product can reach that kind of level, that it stays in people's mind as an assurance, that means basically you have done a good job in terms of QP, QC, QI, actually. Okay, so the Duran, this is where QP, QC, QI comes in. It's the first time, in the world, we talk about QP, QC, the Duran split into this process. It's no more on standing at the end of the manufacturing line. You have somebody who comes in a white coat, sit there and check the papers, check every product, take the ruler, take the torchlight or whatever, just to check the product. No more like that. This is talking about a process kind of thing. So Duran talk about processes, talk about doing all these things before you talk about, don't talk about end of the production line, please, you know. So talk about overall. Again, these are the birth of quality management. The main 14 points about a lot about people, and then this is about processes, a lot about process, getting the processes out, okay? And then we've got the famous Japanese Ishikawa, you know, and then what he created is the fishbone diagram, you know. So the Japanese, this Ishikawa actually showed the importance of the 7 quality control tools. I mean, it's so cute, you know, 7. Why 7? So we have the 7 deadly sins. We also have the 7 quality tools. I don't know why. What is so special about 7? Okay, so you have control chart, run chart, histogram, scatter diagram, fishbone diagram, Pareto diagram, flow chart. These are all the quality control tools, you know, that is available. And Dr. Shelley will go through each one of them with you, you know. So when you go out to work in the future, you can use that, you know, to actually present your thoughts and to present your data and all that. I think that is going back to a very systematic way of not just take out a product and check at the end of it, but to actually study the different reasons why the product becomes the way it is. Like fishbone diagram is really a cause-effect diagram. Okay, it's a must now, fishbone, yeah, because at the end of it, it's like, okay, this is the problem. You have a fishbone diagram. What are the primary problem? That is the bigger bones, you know, and then what are the secondary problem? That is the smaller bones. So if your problem is so complicated, you get ikan terubok, a lot of bones. Okay, when your problem is okay, only you get a prawn fat. Okay, so you get the golden prawn fat or white prawn fat. The bones is not a lot of meat, but not much bone. Yeah, so this fishbone diagram actually is a cause-effect diagram. It actually gets them to pinpoint the root of that imperfection, yeah, so that you can prioritize, so that you can say that, this guy is the problem, this machine is the problem, this material is the problem, yeah. So you find out, otherwise you'll be hitting, you'll be like hammering, you know, when you go to this game, you know, in the playground, you know, when, you know, in that you know, like mall playground, you know, you have that hitting game, you know, the head pops out and then you hit and hit and hit, you know. So actually that hitting game is not good because you simply hit on it, you just have to hit something. But fishbone diagram tells you don't do that, you know. It's basically have to find out where exactly is the problem, then you actually hit the right tone, right note, so that it is the most effective. Okay, so Crosby also, this is another guru. He also talks about management, commitment to quality, talks about improvement team. He's a bit like Duran actually. Yeah, he's a bit like Duran. So calculate cost of poor quality. Okay, raise awareness among employees. So he's talking about data. I think Crosby is a bit later, you know. I think he also builds on to, you know, whatever Damien Duran and these people. Okay, and so Ishikawa is a very technical one. They really have a lot of technical, like Pareto diagram. 80% of the problem comes from 20%. 80% of the result comes from 20% of the issues. You see, so like saying that, you know, 20% of the people, 80% of the wealth is held by 20% of the people in this world. So that is the pattern that is being seen. So go and target the 20%. The 80% doesn't, you know, it doesn't work that way. Yeah. Okay, so these are, you know, the one that I put it in small letter. I think these are just some of the concept of where the quality approach comes from. Okay, so Japan actually represent a total quality approach. Japanese actually presented a concept that we talk about totality, talks about culture, that in an organization, it is the total quality approach from management to ground people. And recently I've been asked to do this research project. Somebody actually approached me and I really love it. And they talk about construction industry, why the quality of work are not there. You know, why is it that, you know, we have professional people who design, supervise and all that, but yet there's a lot of problems with quality. And a lot of them comes from workers. Okay, so they want to look into workers' attitude, motivation, and all sort of workers related problems when it deals with quality. And these sort of topics are very relevant, isn't it? You know, like those of you who are actually working, you know, if you have people, your management can be say, I want quality slogan every morning. You know, you go and exercise and say that I want quality. But then when it comes to the floor people, they don't do it, you know, and then you go like, what, you know, like as an engineer, when I go down to site, I see so many work that is like shoddy, substandard and all that, and it really pains me. And then it's like, oh, my design is just so completely, you know, muck out because of the work, I mean, of the workmanship from the people down there, you see. So when we talk about total quality, it means that even the smallest end person, the last person, they must know the importance and what they must do. It's just like, you know, when you have hotels, you know, even the bellboy must know what to do. If you own a cleaning company, it doesn't matter if your staff and your, you know, your management, your supervisors, wow, we will do like perfect mixing of chemical, you know, perfect mixing of the sabun with the water, you know, with the warm water, hot, clean water or whatever, you know, we use the best quality support or whatever. But if your cleaning lady is not doing a good job, then basically, you know, she take the mop and she never cleans the mop, and then she use whatever the best quality, the best process of cleaning the floor. You're gonna get a complaint from a customer, correct or not? Because she doesn't do it, you see. So she doesn't realize the importance of it, you see. So if you in a hotel, if we talk about management high up there, talking about all sorts of quality, importance, and all that, at the end of the day, your bellboy open door is so rude, you know, and whenever the customers come, the tourists come, the bus come, nobody even help them to remove the bag from the couch from the bus. You tell me that is good quality. So I check in a 5-star hotel, for example, let's say La Shangri-La, and then I reach the hotel, the door is not open, you know, there's no bellboy to take my luggage, you know, I'll be so upset, you know, I'm paying like, well, how many, you know, hundreds of dollars per night, thousands of dollars per night, and this is what I get, I have to carry my own bags, you know. So yeah, so you see, these are the totality, the concept of totality. There's a very funny example I have for my friend, you know, they visited India, and you know, on the paper it says 5 stars hotel, you know, but when they reach the hotel, when the bus reached the hotel just on the light, you know, the lights start open. So everybody was like, oh gosh, you know, it's like this hotel are not even in operation kind of feel, you know. So this is a very joke, you know. So we're saying that you have to, it is an effort from A to Z, okay? Not only in the processes, not only in the definition. Definition is very important. It's the first step. Then is the process. Then is the people, okay? Management, yes, very important as well, but the people executing the work, it is very, very important, okay? So Japanese realize that. So you can see that, you know, honestly, if you've been to Japan, you will realize that Japanese are even down to the rubbish street sweeper, you know, we call it people who sweep the street, you know, or clean your table, or prepare your food, you know, or toilet cleaner or whatever. They do it with a very sincere, very committed understanding of whatever their action will actually affect the end product. You know, if you go to their museums, their libraries and all that, yeah, they will actually, you know, like those ladies will sit there quietly waiting for you to ask questions. They really sit there quietly, you know, until a point that you walk past them, you don't even realize that they're not a statue, you know, they're actually a human being. So they're really quiet, you know, so they do that, you see. So that is their lifestyles, that is their practice, you know. They talk about lean kind of practice, you know. They don't have overloaded of their bento are not like overloaded with different all sorts of food, you know. they don't overeat, you know, they're mediocrity like actually. So in that sense, the discipline is being created, and quality are very, very much related to the Japanese, honestly, because a lot of concept and management systems come from this country with the US and all that. So you see a lot of these things are from that era and then that level. So, and then so Japanese insist on producing better and better product, but then at first the US thought that, you know, maybe they're just cheap, you know, so therefore like Toyota car are just cheap, so they're not good, not that good, you know. So then they realized that competition starts to set in, that they're not only cheap but they are good, and that is really quite a killer. You really take up a lot of market, you know, in the whole world when it comes to manufacturing with the Japanese. Car definitely, okay. Now you have a lot of these Chinese and Korean products, especially when it comes to electrical goods. But you know, for the 20 years ago, I would say 20 to 30 years ago, Japanese, we talk about National, Panasonic, and all that. They are considered as the best product that you should buy. You know, Honda, yeah, cars definitely. Honda, Lexus, Toyotas, Nissan, yeah, these are all Japanese cars, and that US totally basically just lost it already when it comes to that. Okay, so yeah, then now beyond TQM is already like really the old thing, you know, like old thing actually is the basic quality management thing, is that quality culture, total quality culture. Actually, TQM is a quality management system. Okay, it's a management system. It's a concept plus a system. Okay, and you have a lot of these ISO and then the Bowrich, you know, National Quality Program. They are all based more on quality management, TQM. So beyond TQM, we have other things now. Okay, like Six Sigma, and Japanese also have the other things like what 5S, is it? Yeah, lean and all that, you know. So I see somebody was talking in the chat group just now. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, lean practices, lean just in time, 5S, you know. And yeah, so these are a lot of the newer concepts, Six Sigma and all that is recently that is coming out, the IMIC. Okay, so these are the more and more recent, and the more and more recent, we also put more and more focus into customer satisfaction. Okay, so quality standards in Malaysia, we always talk about ISO, but I don't believe in ISO, honestly. ISO is just the American way of taking a European product and then, you know, package it and then end up, you know, making you paying thousands and thousands and tens of thousands of dollars just to just to, you know, sell it, and then people just buy it. You know, there's the smartest. I mean, American is just so smart in that. You know, we can't deny that. Okay, so I think we'll just finish up with whether quality is free. You know, like we talk about whether quality is a free thing. Actually, quality is definitely not free, if you actually, there will be cost involved. You know, you do need training, you do need strict disciplines, you do need people, commitment, and these are all money. Okay, and whether in the beginning your management actually wants to commit that or not is a different thing. I mean, like, they will feel like so much things to commit when it comes to quality. That discipline, that commitment, you know, you need to have a separate section in the company just doing quality management, quality assurance, and all that. It can get very expensive. Okay, so, but at the end of the day, if it's successful, basically, if you don't do it, you know, you are actually saving up on. Now, it is a prevention cost. You know, there is appraisal cost, prevention cost, you know, and of course the failure cost. But if you don't do it, you know, you will have cost of non-conformance, and that cost of non-conformance is like delays in schedule, corporate image, product image, you know, waste of time, waste of material, reworking. All this can actually get more expensive if the problem persists, you know, to a point that, you know, it may be better to actually put the preventive one, you know, get the team up first to prevent this, to actually manage it first before it gets down to all this wastage, reworking and all that. And this can actually completely kills a brand, completely kills a company if you're not careful. You know, it can mean the ruining of the product completely, the reputation of that particular name. You know, just one time is enough to wipe out the whole product. So it is better, I mean, like, honestly, I would say manage it first. Okay, yes, you do have a lot of costs involved, but that failure cost and the, you know, the failure cost and all that, the non-conformance that you need to put in later on will actually be a lot more than what you will be putting in if you do it right in the first place. Okay, so this is talking about quality, is quality free. So quality background of quality management. So we have the in inspection era, we have the quality control era, we have got the quality assurance era, we've got the TQC era, you know, we've got the principle of total quality management. This is what I've spoke about just now, basically, and we've got a TQM era, you know, and this is the birth of quality management. Okay, these are some of the basic concept of quality, how it actually evolves as we go along. Okay, and the most important thing is we must be aware that quality is actually a process. Okay, it's actually a process. It's not just the end product. Yeah. So in the beginning of the lecture, I talked to you about definition. Do it right. Then, with all this quality management concept here, it boils down to quality as a process. Okay, it is a process based. So meaning that you do not want it to be looking at just the end product. Every single step as you go along, you must have a proper procedures for it, proper checking, proper monitoring, proper corrective action if necessary. So it is a process. Okay, so we will talk about more on quality management, all these quality management system and different type of quality management system, and plus also quality is a process next week in a way. Yeah, and then also I want to remind everybody that what do we manage if we talk about quality? We have to manage workmanship, people, okay? We have to manage materials, okay? We have to manage machineries, okay? And we have to manage methods, okay? Quality management is applicable on these 4 things. Manpower, all the M's lah. 6 M's? Can you tell me what are the 6 M's? Manpower,
Machineries.
Methods, materials,
Yep.
Machine.
Machine, 4.
manpower,
Manpower. Yeah, manpower, method, machineries,
Material.
materials,
materials, manpower, machinery, methods, 4.
Management.
Money.
Measurements, yes. Measurements, yes. That one is more under KNM. The main physical things that we are really managing. Measurement is a good one because measurement, it means that you are actually putting in all your rubrics and all your calculation and all the tools that you'll be using to actually do the monitoring and controlling already up. You know, so all your checklists, what you need to check and all that, those are the main thing about measurements. You want it to be quantitative, okay, not qualitative as much as possible. Yeah. So basically, these are what you need to manage in terms of quality management. Okay, so you need to know the definition. There's something that I want you to leave and go now with that idea of defining the project. defining the quality requirement, what is the quality specifications that you're looking at, and then realizing that quality management is a process, and what does it manage? It must manage all these M's. Okay. Some people say 3M, some people say 6M, 5Ms, so, well, it doesn't matter. It's just a way of defining it. For me, I always look at it in a very simple way. If I'm a teller, I want to make a good piece of clothes, baju, a skirt or a dress or evening gown, okay? I must first and foremost have the right material, a good quality material. The material has to come in first. And then I must have the right tools to do it. If that material needs certain scissors, needs certain stitches, needs certain needles, needs certain machines, I must have the machines, okay? Then after that, I must know as a teller, I must know how to cut, I must know how to measure and check and all that. That is the part on methods and measurements, okay? And then I also need to look into material, machine, and manpower is me myself, as a teller. There's a simple example like that. It's applicable to any industry. So in the construction industry, we do have problems with workmanship, that's for sure, but it does not mean that we don't have problems with material, and does not mean that we don't have problems with methods as well. You see, so these are the usual things that we will look into when we come to managing our final product. The quality management of our project. Okay, so quality management is a process, and that process involves managing all these M's. You understand? Okay. And anything you guys want to add on to whatever I've said? And then Good. Okay. Can I just show you? I think that's it. I've been talking for 2 hours, so I think that's about it. I will save this and I will share it with you later. Let me show you the assignment first. You go away with the assignment today. 30% are not 40%. 40% is for project management. Okay. In a group of 3, I need you to select an engineering project or a scenario or a problem case study in your workplace. Okay, that is related to quality. And then I need you to create a quality management system. Because you can say that, ISO is out there, there is a lot of different systems that you can use, yeah, it's fine, but do you really want to pay like hundreds and thousands for ISO, whereby you can actually create a quality management systems for your workplace, for yourself? It can be quality management systems of people. It can be quality management systems of a project, like a construction project. It can be a factory output, a waffle like Edra you're doing. It can be a chemical plant. It can be, in the environment of a chemical plant or oil platform or whatever. So it depends on which industry you come from. It can be from manufacturing. So you need to select this, okay? So those of you who don't have much case studies or scenarios, we hope that you can hook up with people who actually have that, and then you can work together. So the first thing that you do is you need to find the project first. So next week when I come back with you, I want to see you find the project already. You've got the project case studies in your hand. Okay, you have picked a group member, have your case studies, and we will see if your case studies is good. And before that, I also need you to sort of break down the activities of your project or your scenario. So let's say if you're manufacturing something, can I have the activities of the manufacturing from the input of the product, from the input of the material all the way to the output? I need you to do a work breakdown structure. For engineering civil, it's very easy. You will do like from material procurement all the way down to concreting, bar bending, and then to hand over, for example. That will be the whole process. Okay.
Madam. Madam, how if let's say for HVAC, we have aircon installation for the construction. So follows the sequence, like from procurement, then up to delivery, installation?
Installation especially, yes. You have to
So-
include all the installation, yes.
So focus on installation mainly.
All the work that goes into it, then your product is out there until
Okay.
your product is being seen. All the activities that needs to go in to make the product comes to the final one.
Okay.
Okay, so then you have to also, if your current project has no problems or issues related to quality, then you cannot use that. So if there is a problem, issues related to quality, then you pick that project and then you just look into what are the current issues, what are the current problems, what are the most complaints that you get and all that from the aircon installation and all that, or from the product of your aircon, don't be too small, because if it's too small, then you have nothing much to write about, actually. Yeah. So I'm actually looking at, let's say, the manufacturing of the aircon, the manufacturing of a product, or the construction of the product. That sort of project, I think, is a bit more relevant. Will be a bit more substance for you to write about. Okay. And then you also need to discuss the quality management systems in theory and practical. And then you create that QP, QC, QA. We wouldn't go so far yet. Don't get so excited. Don't get so worried as well. We are going bits by bits, okay? As we go along. Can I have my undo? Where's my undo? Oh well.
On top, I think, very top, the blue
Top,
color.
beside the file, save.
Yeah, your auto files.
Above, yes.
Oh yeah. Never mind. I will do it later. Okay, make it nicer. So yeah, make sure that we will choose the project first and then do the work breakdown and see how much activities that we can have before we decide whether we should do that as a project. Can you do that by next week lah? So next week you all come back. We have a one-to-one session first, and then we talk about your assignment first. Okay. All right. Then later on, when you go and write, in about 3-4 weeks time, I wish to see this 4-bit first. Okay. Then maybe about week 5, we will talk about up to this week. Up to week 5, we will talk about this. Okay. And then I will have a session with you to discuss on this, how you go on this. And then this bit is the critical bit, is the proposal of QP, QC, QA. This can only be done after Dr. Lee finish her class. Then we're talking about week 6 onwards, and maybe on week 8, week 9, we can come back and we can look at this QP, QC, QA that you have proposed for your project. So in the future, you can follow that QP, QA, QC, QA, and all the tools and the checklist or whatever tools that you need, So this will be the main part of not to say the main part, this will be like the 50%, or the 40% of what you'll be handing in. Yeah. So we actually split it up as we go along. It's not something like I say, throw it to you and then see you later in 12 weeks time, you see. So from week 6 to week 12, you'll be finishing up this one. Yeah. And then the deadline that we're supposed to have is December 23rd. That should be around week 11, end of week 11. Like I say, if you do need a bit more time towards the nearer to that time, you can come and talk to me. Our last class should be early January, I think. Yeah, your last class should be early January, 1st and 2nd of January. Yep. And then so this is about week 11. Yeah. So if you need up to until 1st and 2nd week, 1st and 2nd of January, or even 3rd of January, I'll be okay to let you do that, you see. Doing all these master courses, you're going to have, no matter which master courses by top course, especially dealing with engineering, you all will not run away from assignments and tasks, because otherwise it'll be all exam, and I don't think you want that, It's much better we have a lot of assignments and a lot of tasks to do, and you do it along according to your time. Because masters is not undergraduate, we're not testing you on how smart you are and how much knowledge you have absorbed, you know. It's about how well you can apply whatever you have learned into your workplace. That is the principle of doing a master's in civil engineering, in EE, in telecommunication, in engineering management. Okay. If you go away with a lot of knowledge but don't know how to apply how, we fail, you know, as a program. So you will get a lot of project. I can tell you, if you go to Swinburne to do construction management masters, I've seen their course on contract management. Basically, you know, I've seen like 5, 6 different assignments, you know, at one go, case studies and all that. So this is not only us, you know. So don't worry about assignment. You should do a lot of assignment. The more assignment that you do, the more workload that you take away from sitting for exams later. Okay. A bit like doing assignments is spreading your pain over 12 weeks. You want the pain over 12 weeks, or you want the pain to be in week 13, week 14, you know, and then once you fail one shot like that. Huh? And you can request, please do request. Like let's say like my courses, you know, you request me to actually, I mean, I say I will help you, okay? So, but if with other courses, if the lecturers are not offering the same thing, you can ask them, you know, can we send you the thing to read, you know, can we actually send you our project draft to read? I'm sure they'll be okay because there's not that many of you. There's only 9 of you in the class. No matter how big the program is at the end of the day, we'll probably only have about 10, 20 people, to 10 to 20 people at a one time. So it's not that hard. It's not hard for us to actually help you to review some of your work before you hand in, okay? In fact, it's good to let us review your work before you hand in. I'm not going to mark you on your draft, okay? No matter how unhappy I am with your draft, I will only give you the final marks of what I've seen as the final one that you hand in. So don't worry about showing me works, okay? Same goes with Dr. Lee, you know, as well later on, she will set you an assignment. So don't be hesitant in asking her for advice, okay?
Okay.
And don't be so worried that we are here to fail you. We're not, you know, as much as possible. We want to pass you and get you out of the door as soon as possible, you know.
Yes.
Keeping you guys in here is a waste of resources for us, okay? I have to spend more money as a program coordinator. I have to look after you guys for more years. Better not lah.
Madam Ting, so basically these assignments, there's no right and wrong as long as we don't get out of the context, right?
Correct. No.
Okay.
There won't be any right or wrong, honestly.
Madam Ting,
Mm.
regarding this assignment, in case the information required is a private and confidential one, and there requires official letter from the program, is it who's
Yeah,
going to sign the letter?
normally you can ask from Dr. Ling.
Dr. Lim. Oh, okay.
She's your program coordinator. Yeah.
Okay. Thank you.
Normally, not much problem, actually. Not much problem of getting the information. In fact, it's better if you get the information from your workplace. It's actually more comfortable, more ease, you know?
Yeah. Easy to access.
Yeah, lor.
Yeah.
Don't worry, huh? Don't worry, huh? Please don't worry, okay? I don't want you guys to worry, huh? Okay, let me do the QR code. You can continue asking questions while I do my QR.
Madam Ting,
Yeah.
because a lot of us come from different background, right?
Mm.
So if we were to form a group with manufacturing,
Mm.
and would it be a problem? Like we may not understand, you know?
There are more
But the
technical things. the more technical things will probably have to come from that particular person who is in manufacturing now.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
You guys will be more onto the writing, the collection of maybe help to compile the data and that sort of things.
Okay, okay.
But try to find something that everybody is comfortable with. You want to break into your group now? If you want, I'm okay to just help you to have a look,
I was just thinking if it's good for us to form based on our background.
Unless you want to do your own assignment, is it?
No. Like
Assignment.
I know what Islams and things like that, but I would not know what Kaizen is, lean and all those things. But of course, it's a new knowledge.
Yeah,
New
definitely.
knowledge.
You can, because whatever that we are studying here, you're also covering here already, so
Correct. It's something also
Yeah.
in the engineering civil we don't really see a lot. But
mm. It's good to learn actually. I mean, like that is what the course is for actually. I mean, you learn these things, so it wouldn't be anything that, like for example, if the project is being given by, let's say, a group member, you may not be in that particular area, but does not mean that you don't want to use that, like you can't really understand, because the concept of project quality management is being given to you in this course already.
it's good to learn from others and see probably certain concept can be applied to our own organization.
Exactly. You can modify it and apply that, you see. And any one of you here wants to do construction-based kind of projects?
I would like to do construction based.
Yeah, me.
You see, Sheila, you're from civil, so maybe you can pair up with Natia.
Yes. Okay. Natia and
But of course, if you do have other friends that you want to pair up with, and it's not according to your industry, it's fine, because
still communicating with one another. Maybe I was thinking, Nithya and Anisha, was it? Anisha is a QS.
Yeah,
Yes.
QS.
So
Can do
I'm actually
construction.
I'm actually
you
thinking
can do
about
for
that.
construction, huh? Yeah. And then maybe Edra can lead a team because you're in manufacturing.
QC pembinaan boleh masuk dengan saya lah.
Clarence, you pun in manufacturing kah?
Oil and gas punya manufacturer.
Oil and gas. There's a few chemical engineer here.
Hi, Clarence. I can be in your group lah. I'm also oil and gas lah.
See, oil and gas, sama oil and gas, okay?
Manufacturing here.
Victor. Victor.
Victor. Yeah, Victor.
Okay, can.
So we got 3 group setters, 2 group setter already, more or less, huh?
Victor, one more person.
Wants to do oil and gas. There's one more space for oil and gas.
We only have 9, right?
9. So there will be pairing of 3. I mean, there will be like
Divided by 3 lah.
Yeah.
Okay.
You probably can stick to the same group when it comes to project management later as well, actually. And you can use the same project. Haha. Perfect.
Yeah.
I like to kill a lot of birds with one stone. So I'm the type of person, so I don't like to have too many messy things.
I think in the same field better, then it's easier to understand the
Yeah.
terms, the language. Yes, correct.
So, Adriel, you are in manufacturing. You want to create anyone else in manufacturing? Or want to join?
Adriel,
Me.
Adriel
I'm
can't
with
hear.
manufacturing.
Can't hear
Albert?
clearly.
Yes,
Okay, I
Albert
can hear
here.
already. I can hear already. I changed my.
Adriel, Madam Ting was suggesting to be in the same field lah. So there are a few quite number of you from manufacturing background.
Oh, okay. No
So
problem.
maybe it's
I'm
easier.
okay with any.
Yeah, okay.
So oil and gas, we've got Clarence one team, and then we've got the construction team one team. So we've got the manufacturing team one team. Woohoo! Okay.
So who's that?
Boss,
Albert, right? Albert, me, Albert,
Yes.
and
who else want to join the manufacturing one? There've got to be 9 here. Cannot be missing people.
Hey.
Edri left with Edri,
Or
right?
maybe anyone not taking the subject.
Oh,
That's okay.
Edri, he's a fresh grade. I think can he just join?
Any of the
can you
group?
join manufacturing if you want?
Hello. Who
How many
wants to be
more?
my friend?
9.
Ask him for friend. Hey,
Can
how come
join
only 6
manufacturing.
Who else is not
Wait.
coming? Not
Van
keen.
Dil,
How come? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9.
Sheila, your name is not in yet.
Oh,
I haven't
sorry.
opened
Hang on. I was actually looking at the participant here. Wait. Let me scan.
Okay, Diamudin wants to join our oil and gas team.
Edri, do you want to join us?
No, Adri is manufacturing already.
Yeah, kah? Okay. If like that, who?
Adri with Albert. Adri with Albert. And who else? Last one.
Zainuddin.
We've got
1, 2, 3, 4, 5,
class,
6, 7, 8,
we've got
9.
Natia and Sheila and also
Anissa.
one team. This one Adri. I didn't hear your name going with anybody. Adri.
Hello.
Adri. Which one do you want to join?
Manufacturing.
Manufacturing. So basically we've got, perfect. We've got Chun. Okay, manufacturing. We've got 3. We've got Zainuddin goes with Clarence and who
Victor.
Victor. Okay, and then Albert and Adria and Adri. Okay. So jadi kawan-kawan and then you all will be kawan-kawan until the end of the semester, end of the year, and there will be bound to be people who is a bit less experienced in the team. There are bound to be people who are a bit difficult and all that. You are doing masters. Don't come and cry and say that you can't work with your team member. Jangan. This is management. Okay, management of people. Hard cry also have to manage. Otherwise, the only solution is Lone Ranger. Do your own project. Okay, I'm done. So 9. So okay, I think that's it for today. Just go for your weekend, and then I'll see you again next week. Okay.
okay.
Thank you,
Thank you,
madam.
madam.
Bye.
Madam,
All right. Yep.
do you have any what is that thesis under you?
At the moment, just now that one, Adri says she wants to go under me. So for the oil and gas.
I saw
So
there's
far-
one.
Mm.
I saw there's